the UK. Good evening. How are we? So today, or tonight, is going to be a little bit of a special one. We've got a guest on, and we're just waiting until he pops up. We've got to see who joins. I know it's a bit late in the UK. Alison Taylor, good to see you. How are you? Who else have we got on? Let's see some comments. Kim Brody, how are you? So it's now coming up 3 in Las Vegas. And I've decided to do a little bit of something a bit different today. This guy's story is inspiring loads of people at the moment, me included. And I wanted to get him on a little podcast. And he's literally just commented here. And I'm hoping this is going to work because it's not worked the past 3 times I've tried this. So I'm inviting James just now. His name's James Ford. And I know James from back in Scotland. And he's an absolute fantastic guy. Let's have a look. It's his connection failed. Why is that? Come on, Jamesy. Adding. It says adding. James, let me know if you got a wee notification, pal. All the way from Edinburgh. Good to see you, John Boy. How are you? James, are you getting any notifications? Because it's saying you're getting added. What a time you have. It's been a bit hot here, Stacey, I'm not going to lie. How are you doing, Anne? Good to see you. James Ford, unbelievable. So inspirational. In fact, do you know what, Jamesy? Have you got a... This isn't working. James, have you got a... In fact, you can't do it on YouTube, can you? Ah, that's going to be a nightmare. Jacqueline, good to see you. How are you? Gail, how are you, my love? What I'm trying to do is call James Ford because he's got a fantastic story and he's took a little bit of a jump literally in the swimming pool last week, and he's starting to document things here and there just to try and inspire other people. Here we go. How are you, pal?
I'm ticket about, mate. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
I can't. Do you know what it was? This phone was telling me to rotate, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to turn it round and all sorts.
Oh, do you know what? That's maybe why people are not getting on this.
Possibly, mate. Possibly.
I like that. Good shout, James the boy. So let me just give you a quick introduction. Let's see who else is commenting. Louise McIver, good to see you, my love. Who else is on? Christy, can you see the comments as well, Jamesy?
I can just about make them out on the left. I'm trying to hide them.
Superb. It's snowing here. By the way, we've got a few people on. Right. Long story short, guys. So I'm getting James on because he messaged me the other week there saying he's been following my journey. And I knew James from... How did we first meet? It was through snooker, wasn't it?
Snooker when you were... I can't remember what age you were, pal, but you were a young boy and quite wee.
12, 13, 14, something like that. And
yeah.
Hi, Erin Wilson. Hashtag bad pipes. That's the woman I talk. Ball bag. Erin Williamson. Anyway, that's another story.
I've seen that.
But so I met James when I was playing snooker. You know, I used to play in these leagues on Scottish tournaments all over Scotland, and James was incredible. Still is. So he started this little journey. He left a comment on one of my posts last week, and he says, "I think was it 21 miles, James, you're doing."
22, pal.
22. In fact, do you want to tell him what you're doing?
Yeah, so basically, to aid a bit of weight loss, I'm signing up to the Swim 22 challenge, 22 miles over 12 weeks. You can do 44, but I was like, nah, 44 is too much. The preparation was funny. It was 2 swims a week before, and then just get flung right in.
What do you mean?
Well, I will be swimming since basically I was originally losing the weight, pal. So that was nearly 5 years ago when I lost 7 stone. But the funny part was I done 2 swim sessions. Went right. We'll throw ourselves in. You know, break this 22 miles down. It's 30. It's something stupid. 35,600 and something meters over 12 weeks.
Right. Okay.
So you break it down nice and simple. It's 30 lengths, 25 metre pool, 4 days a week for 12 weeks.
Brilliant.
So do that. So yeah, it's not great. Well, it's not easy. Your aims are hanging, and they have been at every session. But you know, it is what it is, mate. You have to
do you
get
know
on
what?
with it.
And I wouldn't have never came up with this because you had left a comment, and I can't remember word for word what it was, but it was something along the lines of, you know, I'm doing this, and is it for a charity, James? No, or is it?
It is. Well, the Swim 22's doing it for Diabetes UK. My mum was diagnosed with it.
That was
type 2. So, I mean, it's not really just because my mum was diagnosed with it. I know a few people as well that were, but mainly to aid my weight loss. You know, best exercise I can do is swimming. So, you know, why not give it a bash?
You left a comment. Now you can correct me here, but you said something along the lines of, you know, I've been following your journey, seeing your documentation throughout Las Vegas. I want to try and do a similar thing with this weight loss and with this charity thing that I'm doing. And you went into detail about how you're doing 22 miles over this amount of period of time and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I literally thought to myself, my first thought was, you can help people. That was my first thought. And it's mad because I actually had this conversation at the weekend here with Erin, that house, that the owner of that house. You know, we had so many conversations. And it's literally like, if you can try and find a way and a purpose to change your, like for instance, somebody commented last week about their daughter being an alcoholic, changed it. Now she teaches people how to get out of that. So for like you, if people follow, if you can document your journey from say where you were 4 weeks ago or 2 weeks or even now, right?
Yeah.
And they see your progress, like there's no denying the process. There's no secret pill. There's no magic trick. It's just hard work, dedication, and being the hardest working person in the room. And I think that's why I do what I'm doing in the journey. I want to keep this about you, but just to show a bit of context, like the reason why I'm documenting this journey, like I know one day I'll have one show in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And about 30% of people believe me, right? It started off about maybe 3% believed me. You know, when I first started, and people laughed and people joked, and you know, who's he think he is? He's arrogant. He's this. He's that. But then people realise, or maybe they don't realise, how much work I put into, you know, gaining a following, helping people. You know, even off stage, off the Sunday shows, and I've always had a connection with you, James. And when I seen that message, and I thought I would love to just get a chat like this, and it opened up a new can of worms. Like I'm thinking, there's maybe somebody in the comments now thinking, do you know what? I'm starting to do something new, fucking scary. Yeah. But what if I document it? Like there's no, and then you can actually evaluate yourself.
Do you know what's hard about that is,
tell me.
I've done probably about four videos now just before I start the session, then finish it. And I'm like, I'm talking to myself. And I feel stupid, right? So you're going, all right, morning, blah, 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 here day my 30s, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, speak to you in a bit. I'm like, but who am I speaking to? I'm not speaking to anybody else but my phone. And I'm like, looking about going, you look like a tube. Right, and then you go, come back out. Well, I've done my 30, blah, blah, ready to go home, get on with the day. So, fine. But to kind of put it into context, what you're saying there about people going on a journey and they learn about themselves, right? So the one with the alcoholic. So with the gambling, right? When I was a really bad gambler, and to be fair,
so you gambled
massively, mate, and we had it very well, because I would say that in all addictions you can have, between alcoholism, drug addiction, gambling, you'll never spot a gambling addict out of three. You can spot an alcoholic because they'll be steaming all the time, and you'll spot a drug addict because they'll be at the face all the time. But you'll never see it in a gambler because they'll put a mask on, and they'll maybe hide behind several masks, and you'll ask the question, how are you? And the usual thing is, oh, I'm fine. You know, everything's rosy in the garden. It's to kind of put your defense mechanism up to go, I'm all right. Then keep probing, and you'll go away, and you know everything's fine. But actually, deep down within you, you're probably dying. You know, and that's the hardest part. So I found that, you know, eventually went to the GA meetings. I backed myself into a corner where I had no way of getting myself out of the debt I was in.
Gamblers Anonymous? No.
Gamblers Anonymous, yeah.
All right, okay.
So I went there on and off for 4 years, just after I'd lost my job. So really just, you know, at the lowest point. done 10 months of abstination and thought one day, stupidly, well, what would I like to place a bet? You know, don't know. Well, give it a whirl. Didn't feel anything, but then felt guilty because I gambled again. And then went off on a tyrant. So it's like the first drink to an alcoholic, the first use of drugs for a drug addict, the first bet for a gambler. As soon as you do it, you've crossed the line and you lose all control. And that's the hardest part. So,
and do you think, because this ties in with something nicely actually. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll let this. So, if you place a bet, do you lose, in a sense, respect for yourself?
No respect for myself, because you get the buzz at the bet.
Or the trust.
The trust goes 100%.
That's
an invisible line. Yeah.
Because I talk about how you gain self-confidence is how being able to trust yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm getting at. So if you lose the sense of trust in yourself, does like your confidence go as well, and then other things start to misplace.
Everything goes.
Got you right. Yeah. With you.
So in that world of gambling or any addiction, you feel that that's your go-to, and you can shut people away, because regardless of what problems you're going through in your life, you can go through and do that. One thing, whether it be take drugs, have plenty of bevy, have a bet or several bets, you take yourself away from the troubles. However, when you either get sober, you come down, or you lose all your money,
they're bigger.
You still get the problems, they're worse. So I get it. Yeah. I totally get it. The one thing I found,
don't they release?
Yeah.
The alcohol, the drugs, and the gambling, they release a chemical called dopamine in your body.
That's the one. Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
And it's dopamine that gets you addicted. So, for instance, see like your phone.
Yeah.
And I'm bad at it. See, every time my phone lights up, or if, for instance, I'm sleeping, right? I'm trying to get to sleep, and I see the light. That's dopamine saying, by the way, someone's liked your post. You're fucking class. Do you know what I mean? You're the man. Yeah, you better go and check who it is. Like that's an addiction, and that's bad. So what I've started to do the past few weeks is turn my notifications off.
Turn your phone off. You've got your bed, go to sleep, son. Phone's off. That's plenty.
And it is.
But many people say they leave their phone on during the night and they go to their bed. I'm like, why? You're going to sleep. Like that. There's a reason why you're going to sleep. You're switching off everything. And you wake up in the morning.
Do you honestly turn your phone off?
Aye, every night.
Do you?
Unless I fall asleep beforehand and I forget. But I mean, generally every night I would turn it off.
That's unbelievable. I swear I'm going to do that. And it's
simple.
It's a simple thing, but until someone says it.
Right, it's not your way, yeah. Let's be fair, you go to bed to sleep. Otherwise, why you go to your bed? Well, there's maybe some other reasons, but we can keep it clean.
What happens in Vegas, goes live on Facebook.
Absolutely. But do you know the thing is, like, so going back to it, like, I can fast forward for sort of gambling and went through GA, tried to go through that, was thinking of a 12-step program, which a lot of the alcoholics I'll relate to, because it's a thing you can go through, and you can go through for all addiction. I think I got to step 9, and one of the things they asked me to do was clear your side of the street. So anything if you've wronged a person or a company or whatever it was, you'd write it down and you'd maybe take steps to contact them and give your apologies and blah, blah, blah. So I got one, and it was a guy who had a fight with at school, and the guy's no longer with us. Whatever happened. And so, well, the guy who was taking me through it, we can go to his graveside and we can, you can say your apologies and we can then set a bit of paper on fire. And I was like, no chance. Absolutely no chance. The guy bullied me afterwards, right? So I've got this thing in my head after that going, there's no danger I'm going to go and apologise to him for having a fight at school when actually he'd wronged me as well. So at that point, I was like, nah, fuck him, fuck the steps. And that was it, sacked it. To say that would I gamble again? I've gambled again, but I've made sure the stuff that I've learned over time, I can catch it. So when I say I can catch it, I can recognise all the behaviours that come along. And to give you a prime example, when I was at the height of my gambling, the missus was at a concert and I had the 2 boys, and Soccer Saturday was on, got my coupons on. They're doing my head in because I'm trying to watch the scores, and I'm telling them to shut up, getting all the bad things you can think of, rather than just be the dad. And as soon as the bet landed, I'm acting the big man. You know, we'll do this, we'll watch a film, we'll get chippy, blah, blah, all the usual nonsense, all to make it look like, oh, I'm the good dad. But actually, had the bet not come in, I'd have been raging with them as well.
And a half.
And that just shows how low you can stoop at any point.
Wow.
So nowadays, I'm thinking, in fact, we'll go back to that. So I used to think the world used to owe me something as well, right? So I wanted everything for free, but they want to work for it. You owe me something. I deserve. What do you mean you deserve? You deserve nothing unless you earn it. So again, things that you learn. So I got asked one day, would you take the opportunity to go through the journey you've gone through, what you've learned, or would you like to take a pill to take all that gambling away for you and reset your life and start again? I went, no. And the reason I said no to that was because the person that I've become today has been shaped by all the stuff and mistakes I've made in the past. And now I look to work for the stuff I've got. The holidays that we do get to go on now are all because I work for it. And it's all for the kids and the missus. And see that smile that they've got on their face when they do go on that holiday. Amazing.
Right, just that there. Yeah? So you've just identified and you've given a reason why. So your why, right? Now this I've got chills, right? Right. I love that. So you've just identified the reason for you working hard and not having a bet, and you know, your why isn't, oh, because I'm addicted to gambling and I get a buzz off it. Right, that's fine. If it was just that, you'd probably go back to gambling.
Yeah. But
now your why is up here. So you're like, right, hold on now. If I hit here, I like a gamble, but oh shit, wait now, I've got another step. I've got the missus, I've got the kids, I've got this to think about. Yeah. And that might just make, because I'll tell you something, last week, in fact, I've been off the drink 2 weeks now. And it's not because I want to get slimmer, it's not because, you know, I'm in Vegas. I should be partying, I should be doing this, but I want my show in Vegas, and that's my why. I want to inspire people like you. I want to inspire people like the people that are commenting, watching us right now. I want to inspire you. That's my why, to get up in the morning, go to the gym. I can't be arsed going to the gym. I hate the gym. I hate it. But once I'm there, 10 minutes, piece of piss. And as soon as you accomplish that and you gain that respect and trust for yourself and you say what you're going to do, the world is so, like, you can honestly do anything. Anything. If you smash the morning, like, the rest of the day is a piece of piss. So easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you an example today. So I was, I first woke up 5:15, almost bright as a button. Like, I'll just have that extra hour in bed. And I'll get up 6:15. Then I'll get on with my day. No. That became 20 to 7, which then knocks back everything. So I'm up, racing about, getting my stuff on, get the laptop on for work, get that set up before I go. Then I get out the door, I'm like, I could easily just sack this at 7:10, 7:15. And I'm like, but really, if you do that, you're knocking yourself back. So, no, just get yourself on to the gym, doesn't matter. So you get along there and then get your session done, then you get yourself home, and you can get your day started. It means you finish a bit later, but so what? You know, and it's about dragging yourself, and that, by the way, I could be the best procrastinator, and the best way of chucking it in all the time. I give myself an easy excuse, but it's no the right way of doing it. You have to just go.
Your why needs to be your why needs to be bigger than your excuse.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason why I'm here. I was shit scared of booking a one-way flight to a foreign country, but my why's bigger, so that excuse out the window doesn't exist.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's tunnel vision, and do you know what? It's no tunnel vision, because I've learned a lot. Seen even in the past week, right? There's been things that popped up, and I thought, I've never thought about that. This Erin said to me, she was like, do you know what? You're very talented. You entertain. You sing. You do the. But she said, that's not your gift. I said, well, what is my gift? She said, you make people be a better person. That's your gift.
Yeah.
She says, you're an inspiration who entertains and sings, not an entertainer who inspires. And
yeah, no, I get that.
And I thought, holy, you know, that shifted a little cog in my head. I'm thinking, but I don't see what effect I have on people. And
to be fair, I'm the same, mate. I can relate to that.
Wow. And this
You
is
know
mad.
when you say that.
And I'm not going to read out the name, right? And I'm going to read a wee bit of this. I got sent this 10 minutes before I just done this, right? And I'm not going to read out the name. I'm going to use slightly different language to what they would use. Right. So, hi, Frankie. Hope you don't mind me messaging. Been watching your YouTube. Most of my life, you know, I felt that I've never been loved, excluding my parents, which means that, you know, parents love them. Married 3 or 4 times and always tried pleasing others. But she says, my whole life, and this woman's, you know, a little bit older. She says, my whole life I've got it wrong. She says, I should have tried to love myself first and not please others. Because when you love yourself first, you start to attract the shit that should be happening to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah. That's
like
very,
if I try and impress you, right? Like if I try and impress you by, you know, becoming like the top player at snooker and I'm trying to really impress you, I'll attract snooker stuff. That stuff doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make me happy. Yeah. But if I try and, you know, do my kind of thing, inspire or sing or even, you know, whatever, doing funny impressions or whatever, I think that's funny. I like that. So I'll start to attract that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know? And then there might be a commonality between somebody that does funny snooker impressions. That's another way inspired. Do you know? So everything kind of interlinks.
Yeah, no, 100%. And do you know, I think you talk about dopamine. So the thing about the addiction part, right, is that when we went back through all the journeys, what you did and how it brought back to earlier life, going down to the caravan with my dad every other weekend to Haggerston, I used to turn my pocket money in 10 minutes in the puggies. Hilarious. Look back at it, all done. Flashing lights, dragged you in, pumped my money in, done. And then go back after for me and then get to beat it. And then he goes to football games as well. So football management games. So Championship Manager. I don't know if you ever played that back in the day. You'd lose days. You'd be away playing that for days on end. And even I can still do it now and I have to stop myself and go, like, that's plenty. Because I know I'll do it.
I used to be the same way. I used to be the same way. I used to get bullied at school. You kidding this? But
yeah.
I used to be really good at the Xbox. So like competition wise, I was really good. So that was my like go to. I'd come home, get the headset on, and that'd be my only world until it was like school again. And I'd be like, I need to drive myself out to school and, you know, try and be funny to get myself out of their face. But I'd be looking forward to like half free, home time, you know, big box of cookies, crisps, fizzy juice, Xbox, you know, got my wee online pals. And it's crazy. Let's just read some of the comments actually, because honestly, everyone, James is getting love. I'm loving this. Wait there. Hold the phone. Have you been fake?
Somebody getting a nice suntan. It definitely wasn't me.
Brilliant. Don't be so hard on yourself, lads. Inspired on us as awesome. Thank you, Stacey. Appreciate it. Susan Wellwater, a bit deep. No, Susan, you don't have to watch, my love. Switch off. Jacqueline, loving your biggest step is also the hardest. 100%, Jacqueline. And do you know the biggest step? Keith McCardle, James, Top Banana. Go inside. So the biggest thing about changing, the hardest part is actually deciding, like literally deciding that you're going to change.
Yeah.
But once you start, and it's a process, right? But the simplest way to put it, like, if you start seeking new knowledge, if you start gaining new knowledge on a daily basis, right? And I've learned this from a friend. You'll start having new beliefs in your head. But your beliefs won't matter unless your actions match your beliefs. So once your actions match your beliefs, which matches your knowledge, then your behavior changes. Once your behavior changes, then your identity changes. Right? So do you know what I'm writing? And I'm not embarrassed to say this, right? Watch this. Wait there. 2 seconds.
That's cool, huh?
Wait there. I don't know if you've done this, Jamesy. I've done this for 2 weeks now, right? And I've wrote down 3 goals, and they've changed, I kid you not, every day, even the wording that I'm using, because I'm very careful with the words that I use now. So every day, right? Right, 3 goals, write them out 10 times, and I'm not going to show you them all, but one of them that I've started to write, because I believe this is my identity, is I am a role model, and I do not drink alcohol. That's my identity. I don't drink alcohol. That's it, I'm done. For how long, I don't know. But for today, I know it is. Because I've wrote it, and that's me.
Yeah.
And as simple and as, like, woohoo as that sounds, like, it works. And the other one as well, right? I'll tell you one of the others, is that I attract opportunities.
Yeah.
And in the past 10 days, it's been mad. The opportunity, just stuff that's happened. Crazy.
No, I love that. To be fair, like, as you say, you start the process. So for me, last year, ballooned to the heaviest I've ever been. And at a point where literally, so at the point where I literally could not shower myself fully. Had to get help in the shower of my missus. Embarrassing. Absolutely
really,
embarrassing.
James?
And do you know what? I got to a point where I was feeling that low. If I'd walked from the house to the end of the path to the car, I was gassed.
You were knackered.
And then I'm going, so how's it got this bad? And then you're thinking, right.
So what are you, James? Sorry, what roughly?
So when I first started, 5 years ago, I was 31, 4.5, and I got down to 24 from there, doing Slimming World. Through again, it was done through the guy who was going to take me through the steps. He says, I want you to do that. I went to go to the classes, and it was all women as well, so I was panicking. You know, the only guy in there. So the fear factor kicks in, and I'm like, I do what I want to do. It's feeling comfortable. But then you start to get into it, like, no, I need to do this. This is what I need to do to go through the process. So I did, and I stuck to it like glue. You know, got the 7 stone off, went on holiday, was feeling brilliant. You know, all that kind of stuff. And then come back for holiday and was like, yeah, I'll kind of just muck around with it a wee bit. I'll get back to that. I think I might have put on a bit of stone, and I come back, lost £10 a week after, so I was within £4. I found 4 pounds of it, and I was like, right, here we go, we're going to be sorted. Chucked it in, and then it just became a gradual progression. So kind of up and down with the weights, and then through lockdown. In fact, the funniest bit of lockdown is we had the very first one we were told 1 walk a day. That's all you're allowed. We went out to the racecourse on Musselburgh. We could walk the whole. Well, they can walk it, no bother anyway. But me, all the way around the racecourse, no stopping, no gas, fine, brilliant. After that, just concentrated on work. Overtime, keep working, doing nothing else, scanning whatever I wanted, and it just became a spiral. So fast forwarding on to where the heaviest I've ever been, 34, 12.5 last year.
34, 12.
Yeah, and I could not, nearly 35. Horrendous, right? So the funny part about that is feeling solo every day, feeling really shit. What can I do? Oh, we're all bad, poor me's, all the rest of it. And then woke up the next day and went, do you know what? Watching a lot of your stuff as well, and listening to the shows and the music and that whilst I was working, and I'm like,
Master.
Aye, I'm going. Frankie's going to there knocking it out there, and the wee inspirational things, about setting goals for yourself, and you've done the wee PDF. All right, send me that. Let me have a look at it. So it was a couple of days in after I went, right, the day's the day. Had enough of this. We have to draw a line in the sand, and we need to make a plan, and we need to stick with it. So, joined Slimming World online. Got tore into it before I was going on holiday, and I lost 2.5 stone, I think, something like that. I thought, right, fine, we'll do that. And again, fluctuated a wee bit with weight. So back to the point when we come back in October, I was back up to something like 32.10, and I went, right, I've had enough of this again. Drawn a line in the sand, and I'm going to get tore in. So up and down again, and then I thought, right, no, I really need to stick to this now because I'm not going anywhere. And now, in the last, I think the first week, I was going to do it, kind of, mucked around with it, lost 2.5 pounds, started laughing and went, no, I got away with that. Following week, on the plan, bang on. Honestly, I just got away with it because you're not eating the right stuff, right? So I've got away with that, fine. Following week, £5 off, brilliant. Here we go. Week after that again, it was a further £5. I'm like, we're cooking my gas. Then the funniest thing about when I sack it, Monday there, I weighed myself, done everything bang on, done the 4 swims, done the plan to the letter, £1 off. I'm like, you kidding me on? You seriously kidding me on scales? I've done everything right. You're losing £1. No danger. Could have sacked it then. But funnily enough, fast forwarding on to Monday night when I fell asleep in the settee watching the Snooks, woke up, before I went to my bed, spotted two yum yums sitting in a box, just tandem, stupidly. But it's the only bad thing I've done. And then I'm going, right, I can't do that again. So it's, he'd done. And even at the pool the night, tray of pies are out. No interest, not even looking at them. Sitting there by a bottle of water. No, just see them there. Aye. And the funny thing about that is, obviously, the sort of all-stars team, all the best of the boys in the league. I'm like, I need to show them that I can still play. So, got away with the first frame, a wee breaking dish in the doubles, thanks for coming. Showing the big man can still hit a ball. And that's the thing, like, I went to snooker qualifiers as well, and I had to get help refereeing because the self-reffing games, I couldn't handle it because of the weight I was at. So I was embarrassed for that. And now I want to get onto the plan. So I decided that I'm not going to drink till I go on holiday in July. I'm going to continue the swim beyond the 12 weeks up until I go away. And even when I'm away, I'm thinking, I'm sure there's a 25-metre pool at the back of that hotel. And if I go down early enough, I could probably smash in, even if I only do 20, before I take the wee man to football coaching or football academy.
Where's this?
It's Alcudia.
Alcudia?
Yeah. So I met guys out there as well who run the football academy. They're brand new. Yeah. Honestly, they're brand new.
So they've just opened up this thing, right, in Mallorca, right? They've just opened up this thing. So if there's no swimming pool, you've got a big fucking massive ocean. So there's no excuses.
Yeah, right, but then I've seen what's in the ocean. I do like the things that are in their feet.
Well, sneak into another hotel.
True. So, they've got 7 swimming pools, mate.
And to be honest with you, it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot easier in the sun. And I don't know why. I find it so much easier to eat better and stay healthy in the sun. I don't know why. I think it's just a mind. I think it's just a.
I can answer that.
Ken, you want to, I don't know.
Well, see when I went I'm sure one of the holidays I went with the boys, I'm sure I lost a stone and a half in 2 weeks. Bevying every night, it was like cocktails and shots. Fry up in the morning about 11 once you surfaced, and then a 2-course dinner at night. That was in water all day and walking everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Do you know who's just commenting? Matt McGregor. By the way, have you seen the walking and running he does?
Oh, by the way, frightening.
Unbelievable.
I know Mark was diagnosed with diabetes as well. So another one of the reasons.
Was he? But is that why?
Well, Mark was married to his wife for a long time before they split. But Mark's wife is my auntie's sister, which didn't realise as well. But no, just I know certain people have had it. I'm sure Mark was a type 1 diabetic as well, which is the worst kind of the two. My mum, obviously, she's a type 2, so it's less of the two evils. But you know what? It's mainly, it's no, I'm not saying it's fully for the charity. It's for selfish reasons to get the weight off for myself, but to feel better. And obviously, earning some money for charity as well, why not? It's always a good thing.
See, the thing is, though, right? And I've learned this because I've been bad at this. But you need to accept that you need to be selfish to be selfless. I thought there were two completely different things, right? But they're not. Like, for instance, you obviously gain something from it. But if you're gaining from it, you're so much more in... You get a mindset where you actually want to help people in it because you've achieved it yourself. You've done it.
Yeah.
So you don't need any more of it. You want to give it. Do you know what? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And someone actually messaged them, I don't know who it was, and I was going to make that point. Do you know when you said you weighed yourself, right? And you said you were just a pound under. And I can't everybody said this and whatever, probably to you, but what muscle does way more than fat? And see, swimming, I noticed that. You start to use muscles that you've never used before. Because I've never been a massive swimmer.
Yeah.
And there was parts of my body that were just aching that I didn't even know that I had.
Yeah.
So even all these wee tiny muscles, right? All the tiny ones. And because do you know what I mean? You'll be building them as well. So didn't he always go by the scales? Scales is an alright reference, but you should feel it in yourself. Do you know what I mean as well?
Well, they also say about measuring yourself as well. And I know with the body warmer that I've got on now, that's looser around the stomach. So that's, I can see it there. But what will probably happen is, and it happened the last time I was losing the weight, it was 1 week a pound or half a pound, and I was fuming then, but the following week I lost an avalanche. So your body changes
100%.
to get used to the plan that you're on. So I get it, I understand it, and it's mainly, in fact, the week I lost £5, I had 2 breakfast rolls and lattes at work in the office. So I had to actually say, then I need to sack that part on.
That carries on. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have like 4 good days and you've lost the weight. You only lose that weight up until maybe a week after.
Yeah.
Like, and I never knew that. I thought if I eat at McDonald's a day, kind of, it'll show up on the scales in the morning. It doesn't. It shows up in the following week. Yeah. I never knew any of this, and I started to educate myself. And do you know what I mean? I never knew that. It's
honestly, mate, it's a journey in itself. But if I can do it this time, and I'm determined because I'm 40 this year, so I need to get really. I'm basically a walking heart attack, is what the doctor called it. So again, swimming wise, I've felt that I can take deeper breaths now because my lung capacity is obviously getting stronger. You know, it doesn't matter about what people think about what size I am or anything else. And I had a wee bit of a situation, it was probably on Monday, that 3 school lasses walked into the cafe that overlooks the swimming pool in Musselburgh. I'm like, three school bairns, so obviously they were going to start about half 8.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not getting out the pool until they're away. And then you're swimming, I had a few, obviously I break it down into sort of 3 sets of 5, but in that set of 5, in that set of 3 sets, it's 5 mini sets of 2. I still had about 4 to go. I'm like, right, once I'm done, I'm hoping they're away. But they were still there, and I could see them as I'm swimming to the top. And they're giggling away, and I'm like, so are they giggling at me? Are they taking the piss out of me? Because I'm looking in, and I'm like, oh, no, I can't deal with this. But ultimately, I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter if they're staring at you. It doesn't matter if they're staring at anybody else. How can you? Somebody challenged me about this. How can you prove they're staring at you? How can you believe they're talking about you until you actually hear it firsthand or you see it?
Wow.
So you can challenge it to a point where you go, I can't give you that definitive answer now 100% to say I can confirm they are talking about me, looking at me, all the rest of it. So you can take yourself away from it. I thought, I'm not couldn't care less. I finished my sets. I thought I'm going to go to the steam room anyway, and I'm getting out the pool. I'm like, look at me, laugh at me, do what you want. I couldn't care less. I've got a journey that I'm going to go on. I'm working it, I'm living it, and when I get to where I want to get to, who knows? You maybe look at me in a different matter, but that's wrong as well. You know what I mean? It is what it is, mate. I know I'm the size of it. I'm not comfortable and happy where I am now, but I'm on a journey to get there, and however long it takes, I believe I'll get there. And when I get there, and by the way, the funny thing about this is,
what's that?
I could be even more selfish because I think if I got to that weight, how selfish will I be when I get to that weight? So it's another kind of mindset. I have to look at that and go, yeah, you can't be a prick when you get to that weight, thinking, look at me,
100%.
I'm a big balls, you know.
Right. So, perfect example. Right, wait there, hold the phone. Perfect example. I booked a one-way flight to a place I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Everyone supported me. Everyone. I've got to the place. I'm loving it. I could easily, if it was my intention to just have my own show in Vegas, switch off the phone. No reply to anybody. No give a monkeys. But your why has to be bigger. Because now my why isn't to have my own show in Vegas. I can that's coming. It'll come, whether it's this year, next year, 5 years, doesn't matter. I realise now that's no what's driving me. It's to inspire people. And I know that's and when I say identify your gift, it's what you do the best with the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
And I've always shrugged off people saying, "Oh, you're so inspired." All right, okay, whatever. I'm just trying to help. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe that is true. Maybe I do inspire people. Maybe I do make you want to be a better version of yourself, which then in turn is the goal. Which by me getting a show in Vegas isn't to benefit me. It's to actually prove that a wee laddie for Leaf that started singing 3 years ago can go and do that. So if I can do that, come on.
Yeah, I think also as well with that is when you think about people giving you that praise, you're almost in a sense a wee bit embarrassed to accept it. So when you're saying somebody inspires you, you're like, maybe I do, but I don't feel like I deserve that praise. And that's part of the embarrassment thing. I think I've had a couple of things like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't like that. You know, I'm just trying to do what I'm trying to do. But as you say, when you love yourself, it radiates out the way as well, and it does bring other people in.
Right, I told myself I wouldn't have showed this to anyone, right? And I'm going to read it out. I'm not naming any names, right? But for me, like, I used to be really scared of what people thought. Like, really, like, I'd post a video, and if I never got 10 likes within the first half an hour, I'd delete it. Right? I know that sounds crazy, right? But what I used to be petrified of, I was thinking, do you know what? What if people find out that, you know, I've never had a singing lesson? What if people find out this? What if people find out that? You know, I'm an imposter. Do you know, I'm on the Tenerife circuit. I've just won that award. Again, what if people find out that I didn't have a clue what I'm doing? Right? So I used to be scared of all these comments, right?
Yeah.
Then I started to believe in myself a wee bit more. And now I'm at a place where, like, I actually do believe in myself. So it doesn't matter what happens externally. Yeah. Like, nothing can happen externally that'll upset me. Nothing. To do with the singing, to do with... I'm not like that with my whole life, but I'm at that with the singing. So, and I've preached this for ages, right? And do you know what? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post this. I'm going to rub out the name, but I'm going to read it out to you, right? Because I was in LA at the weekend there, right? And I posted, so on the Friday, I done a gig. Few people got videos, and I posted it on Saturday. And the comments on here were unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Loved it, right? Just having a laugh, you know, the kiss on the cheek, and just usual.
By the way, loved that. That was hilarious.
Just the usual stuff, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, this guy, let's call him Peter, right?
Pedro.
Right there. Can I rub this out? Hold on. So, don't know if you can see it. Right. Anyway, it says so just to give you context, it says, so, when you think you can sing, laughing face. So I responded, and this is another reason why I'm off the drink, because if I had even one or two drinks, my response would have been instantly different.
Yeah.
But I always preach to people, treat people with kindness. Even if they're ripping you, treat them with kindness. Because that person, in their eyes, is lower than where you are in your journey. Yeah. Because nobody that's higher in your journey is going to deflate you. So they have to be lower. Mathematically, they have to be. And I'm not saying anybody's a better person than anybody, but in their eyes, you know, there's something not right. Yeah. So he says, Peter, when you think you can sing. And I said, no, man, I entertain and inspire people. I says, that's what I do. If you need some consulting, hit me up, brother. I appreciate you watching all my content. He says, didn't watch any, but thanks for the offer. Sometimes it's good to know what people really think. Maybe I can give you a lesson in singing, brother. Sorry that I offended you. Here's a link to my YouTube. I says, you didn't offend me at all, Peter. 20,000 people that follow me cannot be wrong. Have a good day. Then he responds with, lose the name. The stars, they will rise from their graves. And again, he posted a link to his YouTube. So I thought, you know what? I says, Peter, is this you? Wow, you're amazing, man. Let me know how much it is for singing lessons. He says, and then this happened. Magic happened, right?
I'm thinking you got me hooked.
He says, this is me, my friend, living in a third world country where nobody gives a hoot for this kind of music. I have 240 videos on YouTube of me performing live, and just so surprised I've never been noticed. I'm probably a little bit jealous of your attention. So please forgive me and keep that in mind, and loving the music. I responded, you keep up the good work too, brother. And if you ever need a chat or fancy a song online together, I'm sure we can do something. He responds, never tried a duet online before, but it does sound fun. You pick a song. I said, I had a look at your YouTube. Why not? You like Frank Sinatra. Why not sing Fly Me to the Moon? Think we could both nail that. Thanks, brother. Four messages. Four messages. And the woman that took me, oh my God, I don't know, I just felt a bit thingy there. the woman that took me in the with open arms at the weekend there, I cannot even tell you how much I love this woman. She's unbelievable, right? She's opened up a new, but I showed her this message and she was like, I liked you, but she's like, I absolutely adore you. And I'll be honest with you, she says, why are you off the drink? I says, honestly, like truthfully, hand on heart. She says, tell me. I says, because I'm a dick. I am a dick on a drink. When I get to that point, you know, I just become a different person, and I hate the person I become when I've had a drink. So I says, if I had a drink this weekend, I would have ruined this. I would have ruined this relationship. I would have, you know, I would have done something. And she said stuff, you know, she said a couple of things, and she was like, I'm so inspired by you. Like, she was like, I would have guessed you're 28. And that's me just being
I'm surprised at that. I thought you were younger as well.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Because again, like I'm putting it into brackets of people that I've known through snooker and grown up with, and where they're at. So one of them being Ross Muir from Musselburgh, who's obviously done the pro circuit. And I thought you were ages with him. He's 26.
That's right.
So I thought you were a couple of years younger. And to be say you're 28, I'm like, Jesus.
Well, normally people like I'm older. She thought I was about 35 or something. But everyone does, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the wrinkles. I don't know what it is. And it's
I'll tell you what, mate, I'll swap you. I've had the hardest tape around that.
so this swimming thing.
Yeah.
So you said you've done videos. Have you posted them? Nah, you've just done them.
No.
Nah.
Do you know why? Because again, it becomes that fear factor. So I get the social media side there, where there'll always be somebody. There'll be somebody out there who's willing to try and knock you down. Doesn't matter who they are, whether they know you or didn't know you. At the very beginning of social media was brilliant. Love this new concept. Love it, brilliant. All this information. See, over time, you think, well, certainly I think, I'd be selfish. I go, take me back to the 90s, where I had one news outlet, nobody else's opinions forced in my hatchet on social media, and that's it. I can go and live freely. You know, the days we used to have to dial up internet, where you blocked off your ma's house phone to get on the internet, right? Hilarious. Nobody could phone her.
Mm-hmm.
If they go knock on somebody's door to see if they were in, and if they weren't, you had to walk of shame home, by the way, because you had no pals to play with at that point, right? All that stuff, brilliant. And even talking. See if you're in a restaurant, if it's a family of four or a group of pals.
All of them are on their phones.
All of them are on their phone.
Right. Well, I'll give you the flip side. I'll give you the flip side, right?
Yeah.
There's this thing. It's a website. I'll spell it out to you. Google.
Hey.
Google.
Googling. Yeah.
And YouTube. If you type in, I've got a story for you. How to be a scuba diver.
Yeah.
You can self-educate yourself to have any life you want.
Well, I'm going to give you a funny one about that as well.
So
where I work in the storage, by the way, you like this? The boss says, I want you to clean the windows. I went to YouTube and got the old tutorial. I went, mate, you need to give me all this gear to get it done. And try to, again, swash, like a tube. Made an arse set, big streaks down the window. I'm like, try it. But it's funny as you say that. You can educate yourself to do anything. Videos. Brilliant.
And I sent Michael Bublé a voice message yesterday. There's a 1.5% chance he'll open that. But it's better than a 0% chance when you had dial-up, because you can't send him a voice message.
Yeah, true.
It's a mindset. If you use it in the right way, it's so effective.
100%. No, I get that. I 100% get that. So
there was this guy yesterday, right? He messaged me, and I can read this out. I'll read this one out for you. He works for a laddie. He's 20 years old, and this guy John Mitchell messaged me. He says, he sent me a wee tip on Sunday. He says, look, I'm trying to help you out as much as I can. I appreciate your work, the good stuff. Hope you're successful. Anyway, I get a message on Wednesday. Wee guy from my work has been watching your stuff. I said, I spoke about you at the weekend and I've showed you what you've done. Guess what? He's off ski. Packed in his job today, booked a one-way flight to pursue his dream of being a scuba instructor to Egypt. John, and I'm giving a massive shout out to you, has decided to pay for his flight. They've done a whip around in the work. The guy's got pocket money to go away and pursue his dream. The boy's never met me. He's watched 1 week of my content.
That's madness. That is good.
That's my why.
If you can inspire one person, doesn't matter, out of all the people that follow you, if you can inspire one person to make a change that they want to change that's positive for their life, you've cracked it. And that's exactly
That's what I want to do. And that's why I keep doing these videos. And as soon as you told me your story, I thought that you're a hero. Like I want heroes on here. Like speaking, you know, that's what we should call it. Mack Heroes.
The hero show.
The hero show. And I do get what you're 100%. I get what you're saying, but what you've just said to me is a wee bit contradictory what you just said. So you're not going to post a video because you said if you can change one person, you said.
True. Yeah.
So if you get 10 negative comments, which you won't, if you do, let's say you get 100 negative comments, but you force them to exercise that stops them dying in 2 years, but they die in 10 years instead, I'm posting that video.
Yeah, no, I get it. The only thing is, it's still a fear factor, and that's the reason why I haven't posted them as yet. It's always that kind of, I want to do it, and I want to document. I even for a while was talking with the two boys of mine, going, I could do a YouTube thing. I could do like a weekend, a weekly thing, going, you know, this is where I started this week, you know, done all this, wait, this week is blah. Maybe hook up, but you know, maybe hook in with Slim and World, give them a couple of tags and all this kind of nonsense. And I thought, maybe ideas above your grandeurs now, big man. You're taking the mickey here. You know, nobody's going to watch your content. Nobody's going to listen to you. All the negative thing comes back into your mind through fear, because there's the good and the evil sits on your shoulders, and one will go, that's a great idea, big man, go for it. The other one goes, ha, look at you, no chance. You know, so you always have that wee internal fight. So the funny thing I always say was,
funny, right? One thing I will say, there was 60 people on watching us at the start. There's now 42.
I was looking at 67 in the top left corner, and there's no shifted.
So if you're getting people that they're not watching it because of me. They see me every Sunday. You know, I'm not giving you nothing. They're listening to you. You've already changed somebody's opinion. 100%, guaranteed.
Hopefully, pal. Like I say, the sort of self-praise thing, I'm not feared it in a sense, but it's like, I always feel it's a wee bit embarrassing. Even in the early days of the Slimming World, when they were going, oh, that's James got his such and such award, and I'm like, piss off and leave me alone. I don't want the attention. Just kind of let me todd along in the background. I'm quite happy with that. If you need to maybe ask me, well, how was my week or whatever, fine. I can give you a wee bit of 5 minutes. So I didn't really want to be. I didn't like speaking in front of a lot of people. And I still, you know, it's a wee bit of a nervous thing. And got to that point where I'm like, just leave me alone. And probably another reason why I went, I never go back to her class, because she's going to come out with all this shite about awards and aye.
Oh, yeah.
But again, your mind will play tricks on you. It's the most powerful thing that you've got. And I always said, I wished I was a Lego man, so I could take that heat off and volley it, put a new one on. It'd be great. You sell a new heat, happy days, and off we go. Doesn't work like that. So the only way.
Small's just tuned in.
Who's that?
Chris Small.
Chris Big.
Chris Big.
I actually seen him during COVID as well. Actually, going for the COVID guys. Yeah, but it's amazing.
But all I would say is like even what you just said there, you did like speaking into loads of people.
Yeah.
No, you're speaking into a phone. You're speaking to yourself. Or pretend it's somebody you actually give a monkeys about. Pretend you're speaking to me. Saying, Frankie.
No, the thing is that I'm looking at your side and not mine.
Because this is what I do on my Sunday shows. I pretend I'm speaking to one person. I have somebody in my head, or I have people in my head that, you know, that I want to do this. Diane, this song's for you. Margaret, this one's for you. Jake, this one's Ken. And I picture these people in my head. So I'm hoping I'm getting that connection with them, and all right, I'm getting a connection with them, but I'm still giving the same energy, so you feel that connection as well.
100%, mate.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're thinking, do you know what, I'm trying to impress 100 people here. You're never going to do that. Just one person. Speak to the camera, pretend it's one person, post it.
Yeah. And then see where we're at. No, certainly, there's more to it.
The only reason I was going to have a drink on Saturday at this house. And the only reason why I didn't, because I promised you I wouldn't, up until we'd done this podcast.
I like that. Do you know what, you're going about the drinking thing? So I met up with a couple of guys I used to work with, and they were going, I met up with 29, blah, blah, have a few bevies. I'm like, I'm not drinking, they're going on holiday. I was waiting on them coming back with, oh, you're boring, blah, blah, blah. I went, I can have a great time without drink.
Aye.
The company's good enough for me. That's fine. And I can watch you getting swallowed, and I'll still enjoy myself, because you'll make a tick yourself one way, because we all do with a baby. So, no, I don't need it. And generally, I'm only drinking the house on my own anyway. So it has to be either a night out or a planned thing, like say like a boxing was on and a few folk were home. Then I'd have a few drinks. I'm interested on my end. So it's holiday for me. I'm now into the plan, which is good. And I'm finding now, being into it a couple of weeks, it's now routine. So now that's bang on now. So it's Monday, Tuesday.
And see one more thing that be the killer combination is a routine and accountability. And the only way you'll get accountability is by showing somebody what you're doing. In fact, even if you do want to do videos, send me your videos. I won't post them. But that'll give you accountability. I'll do that. I'll watch your videos yourself. And then when you do feel ready, see, when you've done 20 videos, you'll be like, okay, what? I'm going to post one. Fuck it.
You know what? The funny with Facebook Live thing, right? So this is going back to when I was captain of the counties team, right? And it was one of the guys had kind of done all these videos and calling people out for a laugh or cash matches. So I was steaming, coming up the Petticar Hill, and we just lost the first game on the Friday night. Rubbered. We're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that with the team. And then I think we'd said, we lost, it was Kirkcaldy we lost on the Friday. And I said, we're going to go on and win this with this team who people are telling us we're shite. I'm going to get this team to go and win. So funnily enough, we got cheated out a frame actually as well for this. But one of the boys didn't call a foul on himself, right? So how you call karma of being hilarious. Later on in that weekend, so come to this Sunday, one of the guys hadn't won at all a frame the whole weekend. And he's like in a decider. And he wins the decider. Comes over, floods of tears. You've driven us to getting the win, blah blah, and then he sets me off, right? So I'm then greeting enough. So then I get a shout, we're on the next match, you better get moving. Right. So I'm like trying to wipe the tears away, and then go on and play the next game. So I think I lost the lag because I was still all over the shop. And then the boys missed, and I've dished them. Bang, we're in. Paced the carpet out the whole weekend, right? We went on to win that event, but to get to the final, we played Kirkcaldy again. And that guy who hadn't won a frame the Friday, Saturday, beat the boy who'd actually cheated as a frame on the Friday night to get us to the final. Now that's what I call great karma.
And it is karma.
And then we went on to win it. And funnily, 3 weeks before the event, the same guy, he phoned me, big man, I might be struggling for the Sunday. I've got a job on what time is it going to wrap up a bit? Well, the final's normally about 4 o'clock, give or take. I say, so don't worry about it, I'll put you on in the first 3 and I'll bring your medal home. Now, he didn't bat an eyelid, didn't stop and laugh or whatever else. And funnily enough, he did play in the first 3. We did go on to win the final. And I took his medal home. What a laugh that was, by the way. And then I had to go and do another Facebook Live, and I was embarrassed as well. Doing the Facebook Live sober.
And it's mad though, because, right, so you could have took that foul, right? Now listen, so I was having a conversation with a few people at the weekend, and I'd said a quote. Wait, how was that book? Like, forget it. I'd said a quote, right? And I said, somebody was complaining and moaning about no doing these YouTube videos, and they wanted to start a YouTube. And I said, how long you wanted to start a YouTube for? She said, a year and a half.
Yeah.
She said, a year and a half. She was like, just didn't want to do it and da. She said, I want to do it. I know I can help people, and I'm the best at what I do. And I believed her. She is. And she says, but I've been through this and I've been through that. I got separated 3 years ago. I says, but you know you can help people. She says, uh-huh. I says, well, you're selfish. And she looked at me like this. She was like, what? I was like, you're selfish. I was like, you're putting your problems before anyone else's. I says, you know if you start a YouTube video, you can change people's lives. I said, so I've no sympathy for you. She looked at me and she was like, nobody's ever spoke to me like that, ever. I said, well, I'm being real with you. She's like, no. She said, nobody's ever said that to me. So this was Friday night after my show. This was Friday night after my show, after I performed, went in the hot tub, had this chat, and I said, I'll tell you what, I says, get this weekend out of the way, right? And I says, speak to a camera and upload it on YouTube. Aye, I will. I said, well, I didn't believe you. So, carried on conversation, 20, 30 minutes, and she said, do you know what, Frankie? She says, I'm going to do that on Monday. I says, now I believe you. There was a change in her energy. There was a change, a switch.
Yeah.
There was something. I kid you not. She posted it on Monday. She came up with her YouTube name, posted it Monday. She done one Tuesday, done one Wednesday. She's done 3 YouTube videos. And I says, I'll tell you what, your first 20 videos will be shite. They'll be murder. I says, but evaluate it once you get to the 20. Then he post one and evaluate it. Post 20. Then have a wee look. Right, I could have done that differently. Oh, Ken, I used that word too much. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Ken, change your phone that way so it's longer. Oh, see your next 20 to 40. They'll still be shite. But they'll be better. Once you're at 100, 200 videos, the people that you can influence is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Is unreal. And she said that. She was like, nobody's ever spoke to me the way you've spoke to me. She says, it something just clicked. And it was the part that you said, I was being selfish. And my first instinct was to be like, me? What? I've been through that. Like,
now, who
I
the
was
fuck are
victim.
you talking to? Aye.
But I was victim. I said, no. But
Yeah.
I said, does life happen to you? Or does life happen for you? So see that quote, right?
Yeah.
Erin's got that quote on the back of her book, does life happen to you? Does life happen for you? And she was like, what did you just say? I said, well, does life happen for you or to you? So this woman, Erin, this beautiful house, right? Her house got burned down 4 years ago. That spot. Her biggest fear was to lose everything. She was telling me this in the back of her car. John, in fact, John's just tuned in. John, who picked me up, John Wimbledon, you'll see him in the comments. He picked me up on Thursday. Lorenzo, business partner, was in the front, and he had just met Erin. She was in the back of the car. Speaking away, and you know, she says, my biggest fear in life was to lose everything. I was like, all right. I thought that was a kind of weird concept to have, like, scared of losing everything. How does that even happen? She said, well, I lost my house 4 years ago. Like, there was this, because it gets really hot in Orange County, there was something that set alight, loads of trees burnt down, loads of cars, and our whole house just went. But nobody, luckily, nobody was killed. The news came to our house, or the burnt house, and they gave her an interview, and she says this, and she wrote this in the back of the book. This is the best, 9th of October, I think it was. This is the best day of my life so far. The best and worst day, that she said. And the guy was like, what do you mean it's the best day? She said, because nobody was killed. And she says, this is my new journey. And she says, I'm going to show people how to start a brand new journey after losing everything. After the thing that she was scared the most, she says, at the other side of that fear, like, why was I scared?
Yeah.
It's me when I was doing a skydive. I'm scared of heights. I've done a skydive. After you go off that plane, it's bliss. It's
There's nothing else you can do. You're already over.
You're nothing else you can do.
You're over the line, yeah.
And you're thinking, why was I worried 3 days before? You know, sick, can't sleep. Why? And then it happens, and you're like, this is the best.
Yeah, no, I can get to that. I'm shit feared the heights as well, and I wouldn't jump out of a plane regardless of how much money you would give me, to be honest. But
it was just when you said the towel. It was just when you said the towel, that boy. Does life happen to you or does it happen for you? Well, that time it happened for you.
Yeah.
Not the time, not the first frame, because you're thinking, Ken, you should have called that. You could have got yourself in a real
told him that after the match as well, by the way. On the Friday, I told him, and he was like, "What? You're talking shite, blah blah blah." A few of the other boys said the same thing, but funnily enough, on Sunday, I says to him, "That's karma, pal. Karma's got you." And that was it. And he just walked away with his head down. But it's not.
That's it. But then,
it's probably the wrong thing I've said to him though as well. But that was literally a life lesson. You know, that's you being bitten. You know.
But he's probably learned. Next time I foul, I'm calling it. Like the day.
Yeah.
I walked out of the shops, and this was a genuine accident. I walked out with I bought cereal bars, a pack of 10, and I don't know why. I scanned out and put them in my bag. Checked the receipt, and they weren't on it. I was halfway out the door, and they're like $3 or something, $4, right? I thought, Ken, what? Something bad's going to happen when I walk home. So I went all the way back to pay for this. It was in my bag. I could have walked out. Nobody's noticed. I didn't notice. And I looked at my receipt and I thought, where are these? Didn't you scan them? Didn't they go through in the self-scanner? And I thought, I did think. I thought, Ken, what? £3. They're not going to bother about that. But then I know I've done it. I've got the relationship with myself.
Yeah.
You know? So if something happened later on, I would have blamed myself for that $3. Just pay it.
Yeah. And do you know, I'm going to get a funny one as well. So I talked about being selfish, right? So I said that if my missus had done the same to me, gambling wise, I'd have kicked her out. That's selfish. Yeah, 100%. Wouldn't I put up with that? No danger. That's how bad. That's how screwed up the head is when you go. So they've helped you and stood by you and all the rest of it. However, that being done, sure another foot, you'd have booted them straight there. Nah, no danger. Off your trot.
Wow.
Madness. So
somebody just has a comment, Kieran. What do you think of Derek Riordan, James?
What do I think about Derek Riordan? I'll be honest about this one, right? So, talented footballer who threw his talent away, and I'm going to come with a statement and I'll give my laddie who's want to be a pro footballer. And I said to him, you need to work hard every time because, now get this right. Talent is only, it's something to do with, I've lost it already. Something to do with talent is only good. I know that's pish. That's pish. I need to get the comment. It's something to do with yeah, the two coincide. If somebody comments, I'll be good. But if I can get this in my head,
talent will take you so far, but hard work will always overcome talent.
Hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. That's what it is. So here you go. You can have some talent and it's fine. However, you didn't work for it, you're going to have nothing.
100%. And that's why I say this to anybody that I meet. Like, nobody will outwork me. Nobody. I'm no talented.
You've got to have that work ethic though as well, mate. And by the way, I've not got the full drive yet, but I will get there because you just need to keep chipping away at it. And that's what it's all about. You know, I always felt that all the gambling was for pipe dreams, all for pipe dreams. That basically the majority I could have had if I just worked for it. You know, have the nice holidays. Well, work for it. You'll get the nice holidays. That is exactly it. If you want some nice things, well, save and buy them.
What?
Then you go and take it on credit. You know, I've given an opportunity with taking on a trust deed that cleared off 80% of my debt. I wished I'd done it 10 years ago. Yeah. Because what the life now to what it was even 3 years ago, night and day.
Really?
You know, to the point where literally.
That's the difference between the 3 years.
Honestly, night and day. Purely because if something goes wrong, we've saved to pay for it. You know, we can replace it without any worries. There's still wee worries there, don't you? But obviously, it's still kind of worried about certain things. But I didn't take control of the money, and that's another one about the addiction side, right? So, and being about the big man, when they says hand over all your finances, I'm like, no danger. I'm not handing over all my finances. And then they challenge you to the point where explain to me why you need to carry money. Oh, I need to buy this. Well, you know, buy lunch, for example, we'll go to work. Make your lunch, take it to work with you. Right, okay, fair enough. Challenged on that one. I need to fuel my car. But you could take the person with you to fuel your car. Fine. They challenged me to the point where I had to turn around and say, I literally do not need a penny in my pocket that I can justify it. Now that's madness when you try and put that through your head. But if you're challenged enough You get a point where you can't give them a definitive 100% answer to say, I need that, because you don't. You literally don't. And even hand over the finances doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me now. It bothered me before.
That's
because
mad.
I was helped up on going, I'm the man of the house, I'm this, I'm that. No, I'm the arsehole, basically. And that's the truth.
Wow, and you know what, that's a massive thing to say as well.
That is, it's 100%. And like I said, when you were talking about how deep do you want to go, I didn't really give a shit about it. People can see stuff I did. I'm not proud of it. Not proud of it at all. However, there's the flip side, as you said about Erin's story there. She had to start again. So you do have to start again. You have to get on with it. And the thing is, life will give you nothing. You have to earn it. If you don't earn it, you deserve nothing.
And there's another thing. Chris Smalls just left a wee comment. Enjoy listening. People always try to bring you down, but stuff them. It's usually people that aren't in a position to bring you down that do it as well. Well done, James. Quality. We literally just spoke about that, Chris. Literally just spoke about that.
Right, 100% bang on.
What's that?
It's really, it's so funny. Like, it is very true. People will. There's always going to be somebody. It's like the internet, what they call them, the Twitter trolls and all this nonsense. You put something up and they'll go. I mean, in fact, so you're talking about the one where you turned the situation in for Friday.
Just
I had one where
kill the guy with kindness.
Yeah, I was on. Where was it? Boxing in Glasgow when I was at my heaviest beforehand. Spotted Eddie Hearn, got a 40. So there's me and Eddie Hearn sort of fist bump together, and posted it up on Twitter. Next minute, all the folk are on. Oh, Butterbean. I found it quite funny. Right? My phone's gone mental. Butterbean this, Butterbean that. So I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to play with this. So I'm like, hi Barry, Eddie, want to get this sorted? Me and AJ. Butterbean Junior versus AJ. Let's get it on. Right, hilarious. And eventually the comments stopped because nobody was going, all right, so he's trying to play on with this now. And I found if somebody's trying to take the piss, see if you play along with them a wee bit, you can get them to stop.
100%.
But eventually they run the ideas.
Well, about that boy, how much for a singing lesson?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm snookered. I can't say anything.
It's on the back foot, all right. It's on the back foot.
But then you get to the root, and then I can actually help him.
Yeah.
Or something, we know what the problem is. And if he never knew what the problem is, he's identified it. It's out there now, where you can be like, oh, shit. Do you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Honestly,
why hate on other people as well? You know what I mean? Like, life's too short.
And it is.
You know, at the end of the day, like, you own your shit, you get on with it, tidy it up, make it better. If you can't own it and tidy it up and make it better, well, I'm sorry, it's going to be the same existence you're going to have.
Exactly.
I genuinely sat in October on holiday and went, this is what I want. She's happy, Bairns are happy. I live for the simple life. Like, you know, pay my bills, get my rewards by working for it, and that's it. Simple as that.
You do need, if you don't like what you're doing, you need to change it. 100%. Like, you know the definition of insanity?
Oh, yes, I know this.
Do you?
I'm going to give you it, yes. So, to give you the analogy, walking into the boxing gym, there's a champion boxer. And this is be gambling as well, by the way, because it relates. I'm going to smash him. So you step in the ring, and he leathers you. You get your ass handed to you, and you go back outside. Day 2 arrives, walk into the boxing gym. There's a champion boxer. I'm going to smash him. It's the same thing. You go and doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And by the way, I love that because I learned it in GA. And
who was it that said that? I think it was Albert Einstein or Isaac Newton. It was Albert Einstein that says, if you do the same thing over and over again, the same thing over and over again, and expect a different result, that is the definition of insanity. So if you're not happy where you are, change something, even if it's anything.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely bang on. You have to, because otherwise, like I sat for ages with the weight. It was going bad. Couldn't do this, couldn't do that, and eventually it was like, right. So you're feeling low, but why are you feeling low? Because you put yourself in a situation. So who's going to change it? Nobody else. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So the line is, you need to draw the line in the sand and say, today's the day.
100%.
You need to move forward. Otherwise, you keep looking backwards. You're only going to go backwards.
Big time.
That's
why cars as well. Like, you're allowed to look backwards. You're
only
allowed, but
for reflection. That's it.
See in a car, you've got a big
Yeah.
windscreen, right? But see if you focus on that rear view mirror. All right, you can check what's behind you, but see if you focus on that, you're going to crash.
Yeah.
What about that for an analogy?
I've never seen that one. I've never seen that one. That's a beaut. That is a beaut, by the way. But it's right, you know, so everything what they taught you in the Amazon house as well, let's have a bit of reflection. So reflect at the end of the day, your actions of that day, and say to yourself, is there anything there that I've done wrong that I could correct? So if you've wronged somebody, make up to them for the following day. All that kind of stuff. So I reflected quite a lot on the bairns and the misses and all the shit I put them through. And even to that point, my missus, mum and dad paid for our house. We were paying them back interest free. And they used to come through every weekend and I'm going, fuckers are freeloading off of me. What a selfish bastard. You know what I mean? How a great opportunity they can give you because I was in the shite.
Wow.
But I thought they were freeloading off of me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have talked to them, by the way. That's how bad it got. Now we do talk.
And you know what? And you start feeling grateful about stuff. Like, for instance, I messaged her. I love this girl to pieces, right? I messaged her a couple of weeks ago. I said, look, by the way, that was a dick. At times. I said, look, sorry for this, sorry for that, blah, blah, blah. She was like, doesn't matter. Like, here for you. We've always been there for each other. Always. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what. But it's not until you're like, do you know what? I'm actually grateful that you're there. That I can speak to you, that I can call you, or that, do you know? Same as my mum, same as my dad, same as, you know, people that are close friends with me. Even can we Fraser?
Well, Fraser Andrews, he's
Fraser,
actually. Yeah.
It's even him, man. Kid. There's times we might go without speaking for like 2 months or a month or whatever. Kenny, he sent me a message yesterday saying, by the way, just watched your show, Real Class, blah, blah, blah. Speaking away, and it's like, do you know, we're always there for each other.
Yeah.
Always. And
still do Johnny the Budget.
We had in school was so different, Ken. So different.
Yeah.
The opposite to what we have now. Like, I would trust him with anything. I think he'd trust me with anything. Come on, I mean, it's that kind of. It's crazy how life kind of works. Let's just read a few comments here. Wait there. I think Mark.
I can't see anymore, to be fair. I can't see the comments. I've only the ones for early
John Wimbledon. Let's have a look at John Wimbledon. Do things that have a high chance of failure. Failure means you tried. Anyone can do things that are good and have a high chance of success. James, one big phrase, lad. Fuck the haters. Kieran. Stop swearing. I've got people on here that are professional. You're still a Hearts. Mark McGregor.
I agree with that.
Ricky Anderson. Oh, what's happening? Swooped halfway through. How we doing, Ricky? Good to see you, pal. Paul Hood. Fraser spent 80 quid on a round at Petticoat Bay and got refused service. Oh, by the way, in fact, we're not going into that story. No.
Yeah, I remember that, pal.
Johnny had the budget.
Two stories about you.
Aye,
Johnny the budget.
Aye. We'll not tell these stories. That's why I get up the baby. I need my bed. Mark Armstrong, good to see you, pal. Mark saying night to James. Right, we'll wrap it up because I've just realised what time we're on. Right there. 4:25. Oh. Wow.
What time's it here? That's like 12:25. It's not bad.
We've been on for just over an hour, I think. But honestly, I've loved this conversation. Do you know what? Like, I wish there was more people that would do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, even like somebody on my days. In fact, I've just thought of somebody else. I think I told you this. Somebody started like somebody in the comments there a couple of weeks ago, right? And I said something stupid like, "Oh, think of the craziest, hobby that you like or something." Somebody messaged me after, they say cleaning. And I thought it was a wind-up, right? And I messaged them after the show and I says, "You actually like cleaning?" She was like, "Love it. Like, love it." She was like, "Nobody does it better." And like I was like, right, sleeves up, right, okay. What is it you do now? She was like, "Oh, I work in a bank and this. I was like, right. I said, right, do you like that? She was like, "Nah, hate it." Perfect. I said, right, here's a wee project for you. if you want to take it on. She was like, honestly, I'm up for anything. She was like, I love your videos. I only started recently following you. She was right. I says, like, where do you live? She was like, oh, I live in this part of England. Da, da, da. I was like, you got neighbours? She was like, aye. She was like, well, I knock on my neighbour's door. And I says, like, what I'm going to say is, didn't focus on the money now, didn't focus on anything, just see if you enjoy it. So what I said was, I was like, even go around, knock on your neighbour's door, blah, blah, blah. Even if you didn't care, I'm knocking on the door and just say, by the way, live down the road, start my wee cleaning business, just as a wee trial. I'll clean your house for like, or clean it for what, 20, 30 quid. She's like, oh, I'd be happy with that. You bother. I was like, but what you do though, is get the best of stuff. And didn't just go and clean the house, build a relationship with your neighbours. Because you'll know if they've got an opportunity that might lie somewhere else. And not only that, they'll be referrals. So you build the relationship first with the people, and you've got, as long as your intentions are good, didn't manipulate people, but as long as your intentions are good and you build a relationship and actually start to get clients instead of customers, there's a huge difference. Right? And I always learned this through car sales. Always learned this through car sales. I used to, like, I actually rejected selling people cars because it wasn't for them. Like, that car's not for you. If you want to buy that car, I'm not selling it. Go find somebody else. What would you recommend, Frankie? This, or this. From what you told me, what you need it for. Fuck, never thought of that. Right. Then you start getting the family, the friends, their circle. Right?
Yeah.
So this woman knocked on her neighbour's doors, right? Within the week, she got five houses. So like, Frankie, she said, I've made about 120 quid this week, extra, for 5 hours of work. She says, it took me 2, she's like, I got a wee bit of lime, a wee bit of extra shine, done this, done that. And I says, well, how do you feel? She said, I love it. So I says, now you need to try and get to a point where your income through cleaning being your side job is later or thereabouts with your income with the bank.
Yeah.
Then you pack in the bank. She was like, now she won't, I've not said any names, whatever, but she's in her late 40s. She was like, I can't believe I've never done this. She was like, I love it. She was like, I look forward to jumping out of bed for cleaning.
Which is what, well, do you know, there's people who.
But for me, I'm bamboozled. I'm thinking cleaning. Oh, I hate cleaning. Oh, I can't stand it. But I said to her, I was like, if you were here, I'd pay you to clean. Do you know, washing this work, 50 quid, no bother. Every couple of weeks. Just a whole annual. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
there's always opportunities, mate. There's always opportunities there, but some people can be blind to see them, and it's sometimes it does need a wee nudge by somebody, or they see something that just goes click. Aha! I want to do it. Yeah.
Crazy.
And that's where a lot of my stuff was. I spotted people having things. Maybe it was through gambling as well, and I thought, well, I could do that, but no. Ball boils back down to you have to work to get what you want and get the things that you want. If you didn't work hard, you're not going to get it. And you honestly, mate, you inspired me to the point of stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get up and if you want to change it, change it. It was the 3 goals a day that are achievable.
Was it?
And do them. It was that 100%, and I was like, right, I could do that. It was a simple thing, make your bed. Honey, I can do that. It's a piece of piss. You know, do something else. 3 things done. Okay, fine. But go to the diet plan. So let's do that. Let's do this. They're not easy, but then they break it down to the point where so I'll go back to when I said I lost a pound. I was raging this week. But every loss, at the beginning, I was going, every loss is a step in the right direction, regardless of how small it is.
Massively.
So eventually, when you can get over that,
you've lost 52 pounds in a year.
Yeah. I was, I wouldn't be overly happy with it, but I'd still be happy. It's a step forward rather than backwards. And the way you look at it is break down the stone barriers. So I'm in this stone barrier now. I want to break into the next one. Then I want to go beyond that one into the next one.
Because it's smaller. Like, for instance, when I used to be a car salesman, my target used to be ridiculous. Ridiculous. I was one of the highest targets, joint with a few others. So I would have to sell maybe, say 25 cars a month, or even 30 cars a month. That sounds like a lot. And it is a lot. It is a lot. But it's a car a day. If I sell a car a day, I've hit my target. Easy.
When you break it down like that, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. Right?
And for me to sell 2 cars, I need to just speak to 8 people. That's why I worked it, because I had a book. And I wrote my book, everyone's name, number, and I've started to notice low averages. If I spoke to 8 people all right, some might be 3, some might be 1, some might be 2, 2, 1, 3. All I had to do was speak to 8 people. So every day I spoke to 8 people at least. And I would sell 1 car at least. Easy.
Yeah. It's like when we saying 30 lens a day. Oh, nightmare. If I count 1 to 30, I'm going to be hating it all the way through. However, you go set 1, up to the top and back down, 1. Then, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set 1 finished. Set 2, 1. Up and down. So even to then get the counting part, I was going, right, so I've done the first one, that's 1. 4th last, 3rd last, 2nd last, done. Set finished. Then you're going, you look at the clock and you go, well, there's some no bad time here. But you see, you break it into simple numbers 100%. That you can deal with. And you can, the simple numbers become a collective.
Love it.
And then
here's a wee trick for you. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it really worked for me because I didn't like running. Like, I hate it. So I used to target myself like 5 kilometers, right? So I would run the 1, run the 2, and I'd start to get a wee bit tired, right? So then I'd get to like 2.5, 2.7, and then I'd be like, I want to get up. But see if I ran back the way, it'd be longer to get home if I was to just, unless I just finished it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I may as well just finish it. And I don't know what it is, but that's got me through everything. Cross trainers, gym, like even my shopping today. I walked home. I was going to get a taxi. So a 25-minute walk. I had 24 bottles of water on me. I had this. I had my wee cereal bars that I needed to pay for. And I'm walking 5 minutes, and I thought, taxi. Aye, why not? Couldn't see one. Walked 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I thought, and I seen a taxi. I kid you not, I'm not even making this up. I seen a taxi, and I thought, I'm mailing halfway. So what's the point in gearing up now? I've done half. I may as well just finish it. I was home like that, and I felt so proud of myself just for walking home. That was it. But that's
again, it's a simplistic goal. You can kill it off, mate. That's like, by the way, you're bang on. So you tick that off for the day. That's 1 goal done.
I've got about 5 or 6 ticks. Ken, the podcast, the walk, writing, gym. Ken, so I'm using the night as a wee reward. I'm going to watch a movie and stuff my face with a bag of crisps because I feel like I've earned it.
Yeah, no, I said absolutely. And to be fair, you're trimmer than me, so we've got away with it. But the funny thing for me is, mate, 100%. So going back to that, the plan was fast from 7 o'clock. No eat after 7 as well was the other thing I threw in. So I'm doing all of that. I dropped to something like 4 coffees, 5 coffees. Even sometimes I would have 6 in a day. Did it 2, 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And I found my sleep patterns better as well. I think I'm sleeping for longer, which I never took as granted. I love my coffee, but I can live off just 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And I have that at tea time as well.
See, the night I'm going to turn my phone off because I didn't sleep well, and my brain's always gone like as it is.
But you said you meditate as well, don't you?
Do you know what?
Have you tried it?
I'm really trying it, and I'm not getting it. I'm not feeling it. I didn't get it.
Well, I'll give you a funny thing. So I got introduced to it in GA, right? And we're all sitting in a circle. And they turned the lights off in this church. And they went, right, we're going to meditate. I ken that way. Now, this is funny because you say, clear your mind, close your eyes, clear your mind. I'm like, right, they bother. Start to clear my mind. I'm like, and then wee random things come in. And you go, somebody's staring at me. Right? So you sneak the one eye open. Scan. Now, nobody's looking. By the way, that's hilarious. Right, eye shut again. And keep switching off. Right, so you can keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing everything out your head. I actually try to meditate in the steam room because mind over matter. I'm in here boiling. Oh, right, neighbour, I can deal with this. Shut the eyes and then shut my mind off. And I got to a point where almost everything clears and then some random thing flies in. Man, beat it. Keep trying it, keep pushing it. Or even if you get some music, and even headphones, try not to lie down though when you do it, because if you lie down, I fell asleep once. Doing it, right? But try it. Because if you can clear your mind, mate, it does what wonders. But honestly, at night, when you go to bed, you know the effort you go on your phone. 100% you're there to sleep.
Exactly.
And as we say, what's in Vegas and stays in Vegas, that's only if you got lucky.
Truly, that's a wee comment. Then let me read this out, Jamesy. I lost my dad to COVID during the first lockdown. Started doing afternoon teas for a neighbour to cheer people up. Now run a great business. So out of a sad situation came something good. So anything is possible. That's unbelievable. You just shared that. Wow. And then truly scrumptious. I'm going to follow your business just now after this thing. Truly scrumptious. I absolutely love that. I love that.
I'm going to apologise in advance that I'm not going to, because it'll tempt me. But all the best with that journey,
Jamesy,
by the way.
Very smart. Do you know what? We're going to... Paul Crook's sentence just came in. There's Johnny had a budget. We're going to wrap it up, Ike.
Ask Crookie if he liked my breaking dish.
I was only expecting a wee 20-minute chat. We've been on for about an hour and a half.
It's amazing how time flies, though, pal. When you're having fun. And actually, I thought it wouldn't go on as long as you're saying that. I didn't think it was going as long either, because I didn't think it'd be enough to cover. But by Christ, there's plenty to cover.
100%. I just keep on, but Ken, we'll leave it for another time. We've got good content here, and do you know what, mate? I appreciate you coming on here. I really do.
I appreciate you having me on, because
even just looking at these comments now, like people like, go on, Jamesy, go on, Ken. That's brilliant. I love that.
Like I say, mate, it's all for a step in the right direction, and you can only do it one day at a time as well. So I'll get there.
Yeah, Craig Hunter.
Good for the day. Yeah. Oh, my man, I've not spoken to him for ages, by the way.
Great to see two great-looking lads chewing the fat. Frankie, I take it you're under. Frankie, I take it you're going undercover when Ali arrives in Vegas.
Oh, I definitely.
Ali's coming over, eh?
He was saying, I was speaking to him for 53 bloody minutes before this thingy.
Was that who you were talking about?
Phone. Aye. Bongo, Ali Bongo. Kissing by Craig Hunter, by the way.
What's that?
He was kissing Shergar by Craig Hunter. Because when he smiles, he's got the face of a horse. When he smiles, I swear to God, this stuck right when we were going to Sheffield on the train, and Kay's got the punter section at the sun put on the table, and he's like, Ali, see when you smile, it looks like this horse. In fact, we've got to call you Shergar. And it stuck like glue. And I remember that I was probably 16, 17. That's stuck since then.
That's unbelievable.
And, it's just hilarious, but no, he takes it in good humour. Ali's a laddie who can annoy you, but he's got a heart like gold.
Aye.
And for that reason, you'll defend him to the hilt sometime when he's not annoyed you. But no, mate, listen, I've loved it. And
I appreciate you coming on, mate. I appreciate it.
Even
if this video was just inspired to somebody else to come on and say, Ken, what? I could not even inspire anybody. Just give a bit of value, Ken. That's what I look for. That's what I look for. It's just people that can just give a wee bit of, like, even me, like, I love learning. So I'm being selfish by wanting to know your story, because I'm now thinking, right, turn my phone off. Right, this, meditate, this. Do you know what I mean? I'm learning as well. So
yeah,
it just helps everyone.
We can all learn in some ways, mate. And I always say every day's a school day.
100%. New knowledge becomes new behaviour, becomes new identity.
I like that, pal. And plus as well, I remember when you were a young boy, you were a wee bit chunkier at the time. And when I seen you again, I said that to you, wow, what a change.
Aye,
but I didn't realise you'd been bullied as well, mate, at school. And you know, it's amazing, you know, the change in you. Because you were a shy laddie.
Massively.
And then you had a wee bit more sort of confidence, but as you say yourself, how was that? Was it just to try and fit in? And I get that as well, because I wanted to fit in as well.
Of course it was. Of course I wanted to be cool and be funny and just to not get a fair face, but at the same time I was like going him greeting every night thinking, why doesn't he like me?
Yeah. But it doesn't matter now, pal. At the end of the day, it's shaped you as you are. Would you go back and be the popular kid now?
Nah, because I wouldn't care as much as I do about the followers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care as much as about replying to every email, every message, every comment. Do you know? I wouldn't care. But I do.
That's it, pal. It shapes you for who you are today.
That's the only reason why I've got it. Is because.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And you know when you said that about you follow your gut, mate, I love that as well. And I said when you said, I want to follow my gut, this has been bugging me. Do it. Why not? Because what have you got to lose at the end of the day?
And do you know, I'm not religious, right? But I listen to a thing that do you know Steve Harvey? Have you ever seen any of his content? The motivational speaker. He does Family Feud. He's a coloured guy that does American
No, there
TV.
was somebody else that you'd shared though. It was an American guy, and I've got him on
Right?
Twitter.
So,
He's amazing.
he says the imagination is God's way of telling you what He's got planned for you, and he says when you follow your dream, literally follow your dream. He says that's not you following your dream. Like you've not got a choice. Like that's your gift in here. So that's already planted in you. You just need to go and seek it. And even that wee message, I was like, and that's why everything happens for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't happen to you, it happens for you.
Yeah, if I always believe if something's meant for you, it won't go past you. I've always believed in that. I've always believed in that.
We can't say
so,
that.
Yeah. And it's true though. You know, at the end of the day, if you don't believe, well,
you never achieve. Oh, there's one for you.
Mingle. Boys rattling about today. You can tell it's daytime, eh? You're smashing them out there.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready for my bag of crisps in my bed. Right, listen, James, I'm going to wrap this up, my man.
No worries, pal. Listen, appreciate having me on, mate.
Listen,
it's been good.
If you even want to send me your videos for a bit of accountability, they'll go no further. All right, buddy?
Not a problem, pal. Not a problem.
Love,
appreciate
James,
it, man.
See you soon,
All
brother.
the best, pal.
All the
Take it
best.
easy, buddy.